So
Okay, great. Today I'm having a chat with Zinhle Zikalala, a beautiful queen from Ebegville. Sabona Zinhle. Good morning. No, it's not good day. How are you?
good afternoon, actually.
Yes,
Hi, how are you?
I'm all good, man.
Oh, good. Nothing bad from my side. Thanks.
I think I'll first off start off by saying Happy Women's Day, Happy Women's Month.
Thank you. I
Zimbogoto.
really appreciate that.
Do you say Mbogoto? Is it Mbogo? How do you say Mbogoto? Is that how you say it?
Mbogoto. Just like that. Just like
Wow.
that.
Okay.
Mbogoto.
Yeah.
Mbogoto. That's
Yeah.
us.
But you strike a woman, you strike a rock.
Yeah.
And I
So
don't
what's
wanna.
what's
I don't wanna strike a rock.
yeah. Yeah, you better not.
Okay, cool. Let's just get onto it. So,
Yeah, so what's good in the hood?
everything is all good and stuff. So I wanted to have a conversation with you with regards to obviously the journalism
Yeah.
career and the space. And I want to start off to Ubani Zinhle, you know what I mean? I've known her from back when I once visited Bergville about 10 years ago or 20 years or so. I don't even remember. 2009, and that's when I met you. How does this
A lawyer. So I went to varsity, registered for law, and then during that registration week, I was just like, I went to see the textbooks, and I was like, nah, Luckily, like it was still registration week, and then I changed, and I was like, I don't think this is me. Like having read a couple of the study materials, study
Yeah.
guides, like no, this is like too formal for my personality, right? Because I'm a bubbly person, I am
Just before you continue,
up like that.
wait. Just, so earlier today, I had a conversation with another PR professional, and we were having a chat, and I asked her the same question, and she said that she went to go register law, and when she got there, she kind of saw that law is very stiff for her. You say literally
Yeah,
the same thing. Yeah. Okay. No, you can continue.
yeah. So I was just like, no, this is not going to complement my career. I'm probably going to be miserable as a lawyer, miserable as a person, but I was probably going to be quite good at it, because I apply myself in whatever I do.
So yeah,
But I
Shasha,
was just
basically.
like, I'm not going to be happy, man, So I wanted a thing that'll complement my, like, not necessarily career, complement my personality.
Yeah.
So I was just like, nope, I'll take who was I'd say like an inspiration, somebody that I looked up to. She was a journalist at that time. She works for the UN now,
Yeah.
in their communications department. But I've always seen my life to be like very similar to hers, and I loved what she did. She worked at True Love magazine at the time. She also happens to be a family friend. So I was just like, every time I had conversations with Ubuhle, it would be like, oh my gosh, that's exactly what I want to do. But then also I was thinking of like the monetary side of it. I'm just like, but you guys even make money, And I was just like, I'll make it work. I
Yeah.
want to be there and I want to do that and I'll make it work. And if you guys don't make much money, I'll make it work. And I did. I actually followed in her footsteps through and through because I was in the same graduation program that she was in, like in her days. I like literally like our
Zinhle end up, or maybe put it, have feeds into the internship or any other job that you first started doing and so forth?
okay, an internship in Bloom to be an intern journalist for a local magazine that they had in Bloom back then. I don't think it exists now. It was
Yeah.
called Pride Magazine. So I literally just got like the gist of what journalism was about. We attended photo shoots, we had to write articles, we had to plan what we wanted for the next issue, we had to interview people, we had to go to events. In as much as we didn't do it a lot, but like I kind of got it under the Grad 24 program, where they take in a number of journalists, like freshly graduated journalists, and then place them within the different media houses that they had, publishing spaces that they had. I was placed under Women's Health Magazine, where I started off as an intern in 2016, and I worked as a junior as a beauty writer. So I was in the space for about 3 years in publishing in magazines, and yeah, that's what I did. But also on weekends, I would freelance for other, online publications. Like I remember I worked for SA Breaking News, so that's more like a news website. It's based in Cape Town as well. And then I did other stuff for other people, like copywriting here, copywriting there, just to get extra cash, right? Because you're not getting paid millions of rands. So I just did everything I could do at that time to also just expatiate my knowledge in the industry, to get a bit of exposure in the different types of journalism spaces that they were there, and also just to get a bit of money, and then I did a bit of freelancing, so it was the job. And then I later on, after the publishing space, I moved into the television space. I was a digital content manager for Zinhle Media, which is a TV production company. So this company houses TV shows like Hectic 99, Hectic on 3, Shovel, Brime Master, and whatnot. So I would literally just work on the digital side of things, like social media, digital marketing, website management, and community management as well. So with that comes everything that comes with TV production. It comes with the rush, the adrenaline, the pressure, especially with the live television shows that are aired every day. So also,
where to next?
I haven't really touched on broadcast. I still want to do radio. I really want to do radio. But what I also did was, because I've always been inquisitive and wanted to do everything that there was in the industry, I also got interracial relationships between Indians and Black people. And then I also got an opportunity to produce that. It's a BBC London production.
I actually saw that. I watched the clip, and what I quite found very hilarious, or maybe sometimes is that you're not up to date with what's happening, because I really thought that was not shot after 2015, not because of visuals, because of the expression that the one lady you guys asked about Indian dating Blacks.
It was actually 2019. It's not 2015.
Yes, but what I'm saying is that I never thought it's something that like someone would express in today's day and age. That lady, I think she said something like Blacks shouldn't date Indians, and I was like, what the hell? Why are you saying that in 2020, in 2019, in this day and age? You know what I mean?
Right?
Yeah. Had that interview been done, maybe 1994, maybe I would understand that, okay, maybe we're still there or something like that. But yeah, I saw that clip, and it was quite amazing to see. We speak so much about interracial relationships, but it was quite a good angle not to go for white and Black, but to go a little bit of Indian and Black.
Yeah, I feel like white and Black has been done, and there was nothing more to be told about it. But Indian and Black was something new, something that people like kind of turned a blind eye towards, and didn't realize that it was actually a thing, So it was also like eye-opening for me as well, because the information and the knowledge that I got from it was just like, what? So it was really interesting to see.
Yeah, I want to touch base now on COVID-19, on COVID-19 and on retrenchments, on job losses, and also on opportunities in terms of looking for jobs, right? And I think before I get into that, I want to say, so there's this one familiar saying, I'm not quite sure if you are familiar with, but I use it a lot. If someone is an all-round, if someone is a winner, if someone is a go-getter, if someone is just changing a whole lot of things, the status quo, if someone goes for their dreams and I see it, I normally call them a hyena, and I can officially put a stamp on your name and say, Zinhle, we've got a hyena.
You watch so much YouTube.
Normally says it on his video show. So I think we've got a hyena here.
Aww, I love that title for me.
What the hell just happened? We got a hyena up in here.
Yeah. Ones in Bedville. Let's speak to the ones in Ziras. Let's speak to the one in whatever rural area or in disadvantaged society communities. You know, how is it possible to even dream of something this big?
Okay, I was going to talk to you about the question you asked prior, the COVID-19 one, right?
Yeah.
So I don't want to lie. The COVID has really hit even the best of the best, right? If you check, if you follow the news, you'll see that most of the media houses have closed down because production of the print media is kind of like to say is something that we need to look into is freelancing, right?
Yeah.
And if you're a fresh graduate, I also think you mustn't kind of put a in a communications department. If I'm taking a guess, or 3 people in a communications department per company, because yeah, that's it. But then the question is, what happens to all the other communication graduates that are unemployed if you're only hiring 3 people per organization? You know what I'm saying? So it's just a matter of building their profile and, you know, having a CV that is meaty enough for me to be interested in calling you in. Otherwise, there are so many of you out there. It's really going to be hectic to get something solid at this rate for now. I mean, obviously things could change, but from where we're standing right now, it doesn't look like it's going to be popping anytime soon.
Yeah, but Z, do you think that, just adding on to the conversation, do you think that the media houses did ignore the online era or regime? You know what I mean? The fourth industrial. It was long overdue, I think.
It wasn't ignored, but they didn't anticipate it to be so soon. I think COVID-19 just exposed how unnecessary some of the things that we'd still been doing is, especially in the publishing space. I mean, we had long known that print is dying, right?
Yeah.
But we were still just holding on because it was still working. But then with the COVID and with the lockdown, it kind of exposed, you know, like how unnecessary some of the things are, especially considering like our economic states that we're in right now, right? That you have to want from inside of you, right? And where you come from cannot really be a hindrance per se.
That does not matter.
It can be a challenge, you know?
Yeah.
So coming from a small town like Bergville means you're exposed to limited things, right?
Yeah.
You know, you don't get to see like all the career options that you can, you know, venture into. You don't get to see man, like everything that life basically has to offer, because you're only surrounded by pep and spa, né?
Wow.
And that's what you know all your life. You know, that's how small Bergville is, you know. And then, so you can imagine a child who grew up in Bergville, who's never been out of town.
Yeah.
And then you can imagine how far their dreams go. Literally, they go, like their highest thing is just like being a teacher or a policeman, or even like a cashier at Spa, because that's all they know, right?
Yeah.
And that's all they, and in as much as it's a challenge. It's a challenge to have them dream big, because for them, what are you talking about? So what is a pilot? You know, they've never seen one. They've never seen a plane fly over their heads. It's just like, what are you talking about? So that is one of the biggest challenges that they have. And obviously having a challenge like that will also hinder the extent of dreaming you do, right?
Yeah.
So my case is slightly different. I don't want to play the victim card. Like, I was very fortunate to be taken to schools where, you know, I could be exposed to other careers and be exposed to other things. In as much as I went to school in Bergville, but we also got an opportunity to go out of town, to go to Durban and see, you know, tall buildings and see the beach and see like trains and see, you know, fast cars or whatever. Because all we were exposed to in Bergville was just like, you know, cars and taxis. You know, we never saw trains, we never saw aeroplanes, you know, we never saw ships, ships was something that we saw on magazines or on textbooks, but to actually see it live was a different experience altogether. To get to ask questions like, who drives this? Where does it go? Is there other places outside of Durban that look like this? I kind of got an idea of what I wanted to see more of when I got out of here. But imagine a child who goes to like a, one of those schools in the locations that literally, see nothing. Even when they see it in magazines, it looks like a fairy tale, because have you ever seen this life, And then so it's difficult for them to dream, big, to dream outside of what they see, because it seems like it's non-existent, right? So I wouldn't necessarily know how to go about, I don't know how to put it, but it's just like, I wouldn't be the one to say, no, you can get out of it, because I've never really been into that situation, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sure they can, because there are some people who've actually been, who come from those situations but have made it and are still making it and are actually big out there, So I think I only made it just because I also wanted it for myself, and I also got a bit of exposure of what it was outside of work. And from there on, that just literally drove me to working harder to get out of Bergville to see Joburg, right? Because Joburg for me was just like a place very far from me, but a place that was big, and a place that had everything popping and stuff, a place I saw on TV, right?
Yeah.
So I wanted to go see this place for myself. Hence, I worked so hard, and I made sure that whatever I do, it has to take me out of this place so that I can go out and see more of what the world had to offer.
Okay, cool. I think we can wrap up this conversation just after two last points. Let's speak about the entrepreneur Zinhle. Let's speak about the editor Zinhle. Let's speak about CPZ Media. How did that come about? Just blow your horn, you know what I mean? Just shine now. Just take the just take the driver's seat and just tell me about CPZ Media, the idea, the concept, and even and even the implementation, because many a time we have dreams, we have goals that we procrastinate. We talk a lot about them, but we never get to that space where we say, hey, I'm doing this, I'm going for it, And I think are you on the 7th issue now? What issue number 1? Hey.
I'm so glad you canceled. That means you actually really don't want to, be inclined to a 9 to 5 and do the same thing over and over again and make money for somebody else, whereas I could be doing the same thing but for me and making money for me, right?
Okay, perfect.
So I've always known I wanted to be like since forever, I wanted to be a CEO. CEO of what? I didn't care. All I knew is I was going to be the CEO, right? And I told everybody who cared to listen that I'm a CEO. Yes, Mom CEO is what you're gonna call me from now on. And then even if it was just like making business cards and then just saying CEO, for me that was enough, right? That means I knew exactly where I was going. So I literally made my plan like from a very early age, right? From varsity, when I was going to be the CEO, but CEO I was going to be, right?
Yeah.
So I got my, as I was still studying, as I was still working at Media 24, I opened the company. It wasn't operational, but it was just like a matter of registering it so that I made my dream real. Like, if whatever happens, I still have a company, right? So I just made that statement. I registered my company. I did my things, and I got my tax papers in order. Not that I was making any money or anything, but I knew exactly what I wanted to offer.
Yeah.
So I started the company, and the company was just chilling there like a villain. Nothing was happening. I wasn't operating, but I knew in my heart that I had a company that I owed some work to. So for me, that was putting a stamp on my goal, on my dream, that whatever happens, this has to happen. at some point or the other, right? But then I also allowed myself to be in the 9 to 5 space so that I could learn, so that when I did my own thing, I knew exactly how to maneuver business and entrepreneurship and money and, pressure and all that stuff. So I needed to get the exposure and the experience so that when I go, offer services, and then we have the 2 publication spaces where you can actually, come in and advertise your business, can come in and buy advertising space. We run digitorials. Yeah.
Okay, no,
And
that's quite awesome. I actually saw your latest cover. I think it's beautiful. Like, wow, amazing. At 24 years, farmer.
yes, a first generational farmer, not just
Wow,
a farmer, a first generational farmer, which means nobody
wow,
else in his
this is
family.
when he has done it. Wow.
Mm. And it's
And
supplying for big markets like your ShopRite, your Pick and Pay, and
is he in the space
the
of
big
fruit and
one.
veg? Was
Yes,
it
he's
fruit
in the
and veg?
space of food and vegetables.
Okay, cool. So take me through, I think this is the final last part, your final, no, before we speak about your final thoughts, just a young word to the unemployed graduates, to those that have been retrenched, that are trying to get into the space of communication and PR.
So don't be comfortable in being unemployed, right? Don't sit at home and wake up at 12 and not do anything. Because when I started my magazine, but busy media wasn't making any money, right? So I didn't want to waste the time that I had on my hands on just sleeping and not doing anything. So find whatever you're good at. Let's say, for example, I'm gonna make an example with an HR person. Let's say you're in HR, you got retrenched. Use the information you have to kind of help other people. With interview tips on Twitter, whatever. Do something meaningful for you, something that you can count, something that you can add on your CV, right? Something that's going to be beneficial to you at a later stage when you actually get a job, and something that you can talk about, because they'll ask you, what were you doing in the time that you were unemployed? You can't say I was just
Waking
lazing
up at
around
12.
waiting for a call.
Yeah.
You have to do something because I can't promise that you'll get a job today, tomorrow, or even next month. It could take up to a year. But then you don't wanna let your skills and knowledge go to sleep while you wait. You must do something very productive with what you know. Keep it going, even if it's going to be hard and whatnot. But do something that's going to